level 3 of our gastrointestinal prehab. So Sherry is going to demonstrate a little bit of a combination exercise, and you can just do the lower body or you can just do the upper body, or if you would like to combine them, you can combine them for the combination. So she's going to do a squat just like we've done previously, and then if she's going to add in her overhead press, she does it at the top of the movement. So everything stays the same in the lower body. When you press up, you make sure that core is engaged. You try to avoid those shoulders coming up into your ears like a turtle. You want to keep them nice and down. She's going to make sure, and she's doing a really good job making sure that she's just using those big shoulder muscles and not the neck muscles. Still pressing into the heels, using her glutes, her bum, her core, and it all goes together really nicely.
So Kelsey is going to demonstrate bicep curls. You can go with either your palms facing up towards your shoulder for a regular bicep curl, or if you want progression or an alternative, you can change it so your thumb is facing up into a hammer curl. Both ways, you want to make sure your elbow is nice and tucked into your side like Kelsey is doing. Her shoulders are down and back, nice and tall. And don't forget to breathe.
So this is going to be a core exercise that we're going to use to get that core nice and engaged. So we are going to do what's called a dead bug most commonly. So Sherry is starting on her back. You can either be on a firm surface, is probably a little bit easier, but if you need to be on a bed or something, then that's okay as well. We're going to tighten our core and make sure that Sherry maintains a neutral spine through her lower back here. So you never want your back to be arching up off the ground. You want to make sure that that core stays engaged, and that spine shouldn't really move throughout this movement. It should be mostly the core doing all of the exercises. So she's going to start a very simple version of this just with her legs, where she lifts one leg up, towards a 90-degree angle at the knee, and then the other one. So it's sort of like a march. You're going to feel like you have to work each side of your abs a little bit harder depending on which side you're doing. So that is the easiest. If you can't do this without arching your back, make sure just to go nice and slow and only lift as high as you can comfortably. To progress this one, we would extend our leg out a little bit more on the way out. So you'll get a little bit more of that hip extension, and then we're going to come all the way in and out. That's right. And then if that is now too easy, we can work in the upper body. So with the upper body, this is where the name comes from. You're going to look a little bit like a dead bug with your arms in the air, your knees bent, and then you're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So as her left leg goes out, her right arm will come out the other way and back in together. So you can do like Sherry is doing here. You always want to do the same number on each side. So if you do 5 on this side, you would then switch 5 on the other side. And then if that eventually gets too easy, you can always do the real coordination one, which is switching each time. Switch. There you go. So those are all of the different stages of dead bug. As I said, depending on your own core and your own capability, make sure that you do whatever level is correct for you and you're not arching your back or feeling your lower back.
Now we're doing level 3 for the bridge. If you remember in level 2, your feet were together and your hips were coming up and down. And then level 3, we're simply going to bring your feet into a little bit more of a narrow stance. Right, so Kelsey's going to demonstrate a single leg bridge. If your floating leg stays straight and more parallel, that's a little bit harder. If your floating leg stays up higher, it's going to get a little bit easier. So you can kind of play with those levers to make the single leg easier or harder for yourself. All right, so Kelsey's going to show us the stationary lunge. She's going to take one step forward, and she's going to bend both her knees and slowly lower herself down towards the ground and come on back up. And as she goes down, you can see she's coming down to a nice 90-degree angle with both her knees. But not everyone's going to be able to do that, so you're just going to come down as far as you can and come on back up. You can notice that she's staying nice and tall, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. She's breathing. As she pushes up, she's going to push up through her heels so she can activate those glutes. And there you go. So Kelsey is going to demonstrate knee push-ups. She's got her hands below her shoulders, nice and tight inside here. She's going to pivot from her knees and keep her core nice and braced. So she's going to take a big inhale in, exhale, push up. Good, and inhale, slowly come down. So see how she keeps them nice, her shoulders nice and down, away from her ears. You can see her scapula moving in and out as she comes up and down, and her elbows are staying nice and steady. Alright, so Kelsey's going to demonstrate level 3 for tricep. She's going to do tricep dips. She's going to sit on the edge of her chair, hands are on the sides, she's got her shoulders down and back, her body's nice and tall, and she's going to lift her hips up and off the chair, slowly lower down as she bends her elbows, keeping her shoulders down, and press back up. So you're going to inhale, come down, exhale, press. Yeah, she's doing a good job of keeping those shoulders away from her ears. And that's about that. So now we're at the exercises that you can do every day. Some of these stretches might seem familiar, but we're going to actually start with the glute stretch. So she's going to take her right ankle and cross it over her left knee. Some of you might find this is deep enough of a stretch. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands and wrap them around your thigh and hold. And remember, you can always start your holds for about 15 to 20 seconds and work your way up to 30 to 45.
We hope you have enjoyed this level. If you feel ready, you can move on to the next level.
If you are getting ready for surgery, we wish you the best of luck, and we hope that our videos have helped.
And remember, consistency is key and don't overdo it.